Guys, you need to be careful around the fire. Trust me, I know Pengo, but good advice anyway. Now I need something to eat. I better use my super cooking skills and make myself something tasty. Let's go now. First I must turn on my oven.
A few moments later.
I must have pushed the wrong button. Yeah, that was definitely the wrong one. Hello everybody, and welcome to the hottest theme yet on this channel, and I mean really the hottest. Today's episode theme is Minecraft Fire. Before we start with this theme, I want to inform you that we just passed 60 subscribers, and that we are on our way to 100 subscribers. So if you are not already, pick up your flamethrower and fire up that subscribe button. Anyway, today we will learn what is fire in Minecraft, how it can be obtained and used, and at the end we will learn about the soul fire. So be sure to stay till the end to accept all the knowledge from this episode. What is Minecraft Fire? You probably think that you know what is already. But, okay, maybe you do. But anyway, fire is a non-solid block that can spread to nearby flammable blocks and destroy them. For example, fire will spread to a block like wood, but it won't spread on stone. So be careful when lighting something up near the flammable blocks. Fire can be stopped with our fist or with water. This is pretty much like the IRL, but fire can be stopped with the fist only if it's a small amount of it. You cannot stop a fire like this with your bare hands without getting your hands on fire. Now, obtaining and the usage of fire in MC. Fire cannot be obtained as an item under any circumstances in Java Edition, though in Bedrock Edition both fire and soul fire may be obtained as an item via inventory editing. Fire naturally generates in fire patches across the terrain of the Nether. Soul fire generates exclusively in Soul Sand Valley biomes in the Nether. However, it exclusively generates on soul soil. It does not generate on soul sand within either the same biome nor in the Nether Wastes biome. Fire also generates on top of Netherrack and some treasure room bastion remnants. Soul fire also generates in ancient cities. In the end, fire generates on bedrock blocks on top of end spikes, at the same location as the end crystals. Lava generated next to flammable blocks can naturally cause fires. Fire spreads quickly across flammable blocks, and can spontaneously ignite when flammable blocks are near lava, even though many blocks that should be flammable cannot catch fire from nearby lava. Lightning strikes can also set fires, regardless of whether they are created naturally, redirected to lightning rods, summoned by a trident enchanted with channeling, or created using the summon command. Placing an end crystal on bedrock or obsidian in the end causes fire to appear at the end crystal's location. The explosion from sleeping in a bed in the Nether or the end creates fire, as does the explosion of a gassed fireball or the impact of a blaze fireball. Using a charged respawn anchor in the overworld or the end also creates fire from the explosion. So this is a big difference, because in the IRL you cannot obtain fire, and an IRL fire can spawn naturally only by a hit of a lighting or when something flammable is near lava. Otherwise humans need to create it. Fire can be placed using flint and steel or a fire charge. Fire created on soul sand or soul soil becomes soul fire. When placed, a fire burns for a short and randomly determined amount of time. If nothing flammable is adjacent to it, the flames die out. Water that touches fire extinguishes it. It cannot be placed suspended in midair, even with commands. Players and many mobs burn when exposed to fire. Burning obstructs the player's view slightly. While inside a fire block, the fire inflicts damage at a rate of 1 heart per half second unless the player or mob has fire resistance or a total fire protection of 7 or higher. When the player is on fire outside the fire block, they take damage at 1 heart per second. This is the same rate that the player gains health in peaceful difficulty, so burning alone cannot kill the player in this mode. Soul fire deals damage at a rate of 2 hearts per half second, making it more dangerous than normal fire. After leaving a fire source, the player or mob continues burning for some time depending on how long it was exposed to the fire. Players and mobs that are burning can be extinguished by powder snow, rain, water, or a cauldron. Most dropped items that are in fire briefly catch fire and disappear. This includes the item forms of blocks that would not be flammable if placed, including obsidian. The only exceptions are these netherite-related items: netherite tools and weapons, netherite armor, blocks of netherite scrap, netherite ingots, and ancient debris. If a mob able to drop meat dies while on fire, it drops the cooked version of it, with the exception of fish that is dropped by polar bears or guardians. This also applies to the zombies' uncommon potato drop. If a zombie dies while on fire and should drop a potato, it becomes a baked potato. Most nether mobs are invulnerable to fire and cannot burn. Exceptions include skeletons, as well as endermen, piglins, and hoglins. Zoglins are also invulnerable to fire. Burning is not considered a status effect and therefore cannot be cured by milk. Fire spreads over flammable surfaces and can climb up walls, across floors and ceilings, and over small gaps. More precisely, a fire block can turn any air block that is adjacent to a flammable block into a fire block. This can happen at a distance of up to 1 block downward, 1 block sideways, and 4 blocks upward of the original fire block. Therefore, if the player is using fire to build a fireplace, caution is needed. Blocks in the way do not prevent fire from igniting blocks above it, so even if the player protects a wooden roof with cobblestone between it and the fire ignores that cobblestone. So an obvious difference is a soul fire. Although you can have a blue fire in the real life, burning is a kinda similar, and fire spreading is not that similar. Fire spreads from a still lava block similarly. Any air block 1 above and up to 1 block sideways or 2 above and 2 blocks sideways that is adjacent to a flammable block may be turned into a fire block. Unlike normal fire, soul fire cannot spread and does not burn any flammable blocks nearby. Fire that naturally spreads into a valid nether portal frame activates the portal. Fire can spread onto and burn away any flammable block. On the other hand, a fire that is not adjacent to any flammable block and not on top of a forever burning block does not spread, even to another flammable block within the normal range. In the following table, the higher the ignite odds, the more quickly a block catches fire if the fire is available to spread there. The higher the burn odds, the more quickly a block on fire burns away. These are relative values. Actual ignite odds and burn time depends not only on these values, but on difficulty, rain, the age of the fire, the direction of the block relative to the fire, and multiple random values including how long the fire waits between block ticks and further checks based on the previous factors. Fire spread is reduced if it tries to spread to a block more than 2 blocks higher than itself. Fire spread is further reduced by 50% if the flammable blocks in a humid biome, forever burning block such as netherrack, does not exist in IRL. Soul fire is a dimmer turquoise variation of fire that is created when soul sand or soul soil is ignited. Soul fire deals more damage than normal fire and does not spread. And soul fire name is a little creepy. Okay, I will stop here, and I think that I will put fire just between caves and time on a respectable 5th place on our similarity scale. This was a burning ride, but we came to an end. I wonder what you think where soul fire comes from. If you have any answers, write them down there in the comments section, and don't be lazy to make sure that you burn that subscribe button up. And thank you for watching. This theme is done till next week. See ya.